Welcome to my second 15-0 limit 6-max video. I'm playing on PokerStars, as I guess you can tell by the giant poker stars on the screen. I just started these tables 5 minutes ago. Tables look pretty decent. A couple looser type players that should be able to get some value off of. I'm not going to be focusing on anything in particular in this video, just trying to play a solid game, maybe observe, take some notes on my opponents. We've got a limp re-raise all-in ace-queen. And it's pretty light stack off by Joyce here. Okay, this is an interesting hand. King Queen suited in the small blind versus a 4-time button open, no reads. I'm gonna flat. I don't hate 3-betting. Flat pretty good. Open-ended straight draw. He bets half pot continuation. Just going to raise it here and get it in. Pretty good equity versus most hands. Great to take it down. Guess King High could be the best hand. I could have 3-bet. I think there's some merit to 3-betting there before the flop. But my hand lacks a showdown value a little bit. Make a note on Joy's open limping here. Might be on tilt after losing that pre-flop all-in. And look, limp re-raised. Hopefully Blackstar calls this. I can, although I don't give him credit for a big hand here after losing that all-in with Sandoval. I don't think. And he binks the river, which is great. So oftentimes, when a player doubles up like that, he might tighten up for a bit. Still, probably inclined towards spew, but just more in a, I'm not going to do anything here with the 10-4, but I just took it off. I guess to make him pause for a second if he was stealing. I don't know. King 9 off on the button with a looser player in the big blind and a looser player in the small blind. I've got a hand with some high card strength. Snap fold to the ace-7 suited on the button against stronger players open raise. I don't think you can really show a profit with that hand. You're only going to get the flush draw, not that often, and of course, your ace often won't be good when it hits. And ace-6 of clubs, basically the same situation, slightly worse actually. I'm wondering if Blackstar can be on tilt after losing that ace-king versus ace-4 all-in pre. He, note of this guy open limping. He's raised 2 hands since then. He looks like a riggish type player, so I'm inclined to see that's not the case. We've got a pre-flop all-in between ace, king, and queens. And a pick up 2s in the cutoff, which will be good enough for an open. We've got, the small blind looks like a looser player, admittedly over a tiny, insignificant sample size. This guy just doubled up, so he's probably more inclined than usual to play tight. Unless he's, like a multi-tabler, in which case, probably no effect at all. But I take it down, so happy days. I think that you see a vast disparity in the quality of games, so you always have to be on the lookout for good games if you're in a good game. Okay, here I'm getting 4-1, 5-1 with a nut draw, 4 outs to the nuts, 6 outs to a possible best hand. I think the river, so I bet 2/3 pot. I think that's fine. I could have bet smaller, maybe, but I don't know if somebody's really folding for $2 but calling $1. I don't think I'll open 4-3 of diamonds here if it's folded to me, which it wasn't anyway. But and here we've got a pre-flop all-in between a tight reg and Manu, who's a very loose player. Shows up with King 3 of clubs, and just see how he played that. So he just all-ined over the top of. So I'm going to open this, despite the fact we've got sort of a crazier player behind me. Okay, this is interesting. So 3 people limp in. I'm in the big blind with aces. I make it about a pot-sized raise, get 2 callers. And the flop comes pretty good. Disconnected. So I'm going to make an unbalanced play and bet almost pot. I think I might bet the river small here. Trying to get him to fold out like 10 high, something like that. So here I raise pre, get called by a very loose player who snap jams on me. People seem to enjoy snap jamming on me. Good for them. So here, King Jack off in the big blind with a loose player limping the cutoff. And turned pretty good. So I bet for value. A lot of flush draws will call, worse pairs. When he checks back the flop, it's possible he's got a flush and he was slow playing it. But I think that's unlikely. So his most likely hand is some sort of a pair. Probably the Jack. And indeed, he's got Jack 10 with no club. Probably the Jack because he checked back the flop. Here I have 3s in the small blind with, I've got a half stack, and I complete. I do this because my opponent's so loose. A little 50-cent value bet with my full house. Now, I like having the stack size here. I love my position at the table, my seat selection. I don't think I purposely chose this seat, but I've got the 2 tough players on my right, so I can keep an eye on them, have them acting before me, making my decisions based on that. And then I've got the 2 looser players on my left who, I don't care so much if they act after me. I mean, obviously it'd be great to have position on everybody, but these guys are the ones who are going to give me the most trouble, I imagine. Although I'm going to play more pots with the loose players, but still, I guess I wouldn't mind actually. I'd like to have maybe this seat, which I could take, because Manu seems a little more aggressive and unpredictable than Soren. But I still think these guys are more aggressive than Manu. So, and it's good because they're sort of tight. You know, I'll know they have a hand before I make my decisions, or I'll know what move they're going to make. So here I've got Queen 10 on the button, tight small blind. Big blind looks like a reg just from a stack size. It's from the Ukraine. This is sort of a tight fold, first in, A6 of diamonds. But okay, here I've got a button open limper. And I have a feeling like I should complete my Queen 8 here, but pretty garbage hand, does not flop very well. So I'll just lay it down. Now last hand, okay, Maricino, who's now gone, opens. Izzy just jams with queens. Okay. 3-bet jammed with queens versus half stack. Was it a half stack or a even shorter than that? Versus quarter stack. This looks like a bad fold. This is worse. It's a lot worse versus a half stack, I think. So here, I open fours, get 2 callers, and I just give up on the ace 5-6 flop. I think one of them's gonna have an ace a lot of the time, and they could have draws, which I'm in bad shape against, or I'm in bad shape against, like 40 to 30% equity, which often I won't realize. So this game's good. This guy's been limping a lot. I like my seat there. This game's good. This game's good. So all my tables are pretty good. Seem to have at least one guy who's generous enough that he's willing to play half his hands. And wow, what a scary board for black aces. So let's see how this went out. Gurka raised to 2, bet the flop, checked the turn, and then he bluffed the river, but actually got paid off. Okay. So this, it's kind of transparent. I'm a little worried Frank's got me beat. He made it 5 times pre, and then he peels the flop. This hand's such a cluster. Okay, so I laid the flop and he just called. I kind of think he's got like a big draw. Now what am I doing here? Well, it's a tough player. He only bets half pot on a turn. Okay, I limped in pre. Least player limped after me. He raised. I called. Guy called. I led the flop. He called. Turn I check and he bets half pot, and I fold. Not a very well played hand on my part. I guess I should open raise it. I was really hoping, which I shouldn't be, but I was hoping when I led that Izzy would call and Frank would fold ace queen, or ace king, or whatever. I think almost when I get to the turn like that, I should check call or check raise. But I really don't want to stack off with one pair there. Or do I? 750 in the prop pre, 17 on the turn. Bets half pot. So, aces, kings, queens. Why did he just flat flop, right? And then I check. Maybe he flatted a big jack. ISO 2 limpers. And he's got really big diamonds, which I'm doing all right against really big diamonds. I got a blocker. Whew. Okay, so here I flop 2 overs and a flush draw, and I check back, and I'll fold the river. Here, ace 3 of spades. I will fold. In this pot, I ISO the limper and make sort of an exploitable bet here. Half pot instead of 2/3. This table, it's alright. Okay, man is just sitting out. He hasn't gone anywhere. These guys are now sitting out, which is a bit strange. Check, 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 check. Ace queen in the small blind. Limps in. I don't really believe that bet there. I ISO from the small blind. Maybe I should have just completed. I'm going to be out of position for the duration of the hand. I would like to build a pot. Oh, you limp re-raised. Okay, I'm going to put it in. I'm not loving it, but I've seen him limp re-raise ace queen. This time he's got kings. Really should have just and no help. I think that might have been bad. I'm not sure if seeing him limp re-raise queens helps my cause for calling or hurts it. I guess that's sort of bottom of his limp re-raising range. Not a big deal, you know. Unfortunate that I got it in bad there, pretty bad. Probably a $8 mistake or something, expected value wise. But whatever, no point topping up since I like my stack size right here. You know, right around his range. I don't figure to have much of an edge, if any, against these 4 players. I might even be at a slight disadvantage against them. So I fold ace 3 on the button, which is maybe too tight, exploitable. And here, I guess I'll give this guy some action. Playing fairly loose and aggressive. So I flop 3 outs to the nuts, and I'm not going to continue. Do you have a backdoor straight draw there too? 8-9. Maybe I should fold pre or 3-bet. I'm in position. I don't mind flatting there, I guess. So loose passive player limps in. He's got 10 high. Flumps no help. And I check, and I check. The last time in this spot, he bet the turn. This time he checks back. Let's get some showdown value. Interesting to see Chacham check raising this flop, because there's really no indication anyone's going to bet it. So I don't see why he would do that. Why he wouldn't lead himself. And I'm not sure what I'll do with ace-jack if they raise. Certainly, I'll open it when it's folded to me. fairly standard fold here on the button with ace-10 offsuit. Weak dominated ace. Chacham's not raising very many hands. And I'm not sure what this disconnect between his PR and his VPIP means. Could possibly be adapting to having Sandoval at the table. So I think the sevens hand is close between a flat and a 3-bet. Let's see what happened here. Insert opened king 6 off. Runner to flush. Interesting to note that he opened king 6 offsuit. Checked around to me. I take the free card. And, yeah, 4-5 suited. Guess it's fine. Okay, here I open queen jack and Izzy flats, and I just give up post flop. Against a lot of players, when you get flatted there on the flop, they have an ace. I wasn't too worried about that just because his range includes, his pre-flop range includes so many non-aces. Here I try to steal the blinds. The blind, singular. Yeah, take it down. Maybe I should have came in. Flop comes. Just because MGRV is in. So here I'm going to try double barrel. Triple barrel. It's a really bad idea to bluff the fish. And he's got the 6. Possibly on tilt. Guess the other players at that table are loving me now. So here we've got an open min raise from Sandoval. He doesn't open very often, but he also limp re-raises some hands. So I'm not sure what to make of his range. Chacham makes a very small re-raise before the flop, and he's at 11% 3-bet over 60 hands, which is fairly aggressive. It's possible he doesn't give Sandoval a lot of credit here. I'm inclined to think Sandoval's got something on the stronger side, you know, around ace-jack, ace-10, ace-king, maybe even a queen, and Chacham folds. Feel like opening up more tables, but might not be the greatest idea, especially if I'm playing worse than I usually am. Sometimes it's good just to get up and stretch, you know, while you play. Stand and play, crouch and play. Okay, here I open 5s under the gun. Expect to get flatted by Izzy, but he folds. Maybe the fact that I doubled him up means he's going to play a little tighter now. And 3s in the big blind. Probably will call a raise. If I hit a set, I can maybe trap Izzy between myself and the pre-flop raiser. I'll probably lead with it if I do hit it. I do not. Ace-9 in the small blind. Fold if Chatcham raises, raise if he folds. I'll probably 3-bet, get it in here. 4-bet, get it in at the top left if I get 3-bet. Table 1, I should say. Queen 10 suited. That'll be good enough to open with a loose player in the big blind. I'd open it anyway, but I think that's gravy on the cake. Pretty bad flop. 6, 3, 4, 2 hearts, and he's been folding to a lot of 2 out of 3 continuation bets. So I'm a little more inclined to give him credit for something. I might bluff this river, because that's a really great card for my range. But then he bets out, so I fold. Open 9s, take it down. I really want to play this Jack 10. The top left, but I guess I won't. It's a pretty weak marginal dominated hand. So GRV open limps and limp re-raises, calls, and fairly bad flop, but alright, that went pretty well. Always nice to be limp raised when you have the aces. So, with 2 pretty nitty players in the blinds, I would have opened my Jack 9. King Jack off. Not in love with this hand, especially in the worst position at the table. But I do have some nice high card strength, and I get 3-bet. I think that's still a fine open, but okay. So here I get cutoff raise from a short stack. I think I'll side, get it in if he 4-bets. Merv opens. I make sort of an unbalanced, really large 3-bet in position. I think he'll at least call. And I flop gin. Flop pretty good. Make a larger size continuation bet. Not the greatest card in the world. Completes some straights, 5-4, 10-9. Opens up some 2-pair. But yeah, shove and pray. It's a pretty draw-heavy board. There's already $20 in the pot, plus is $6.50. So any raise I make commits me. I'm going to flat Ace-7 suited, hoping that Izzy comes in behind me. He doesn't. Guess that's not the greatest play. Flop top pair, middling kicker. Already, sort of hating my hand, which, just goes to speak against the pre-flop call. And he checks to me, so I bet and take it down, which I'm happy about. So that was nice. Couple nice hands there at table 4. Sort of buoyed my spirits a bit. And I pick up jacks and ace-10. Another very marginal open first position. Really get 3-bet and fold again. And I can fold 6 high, I suppose. 7's king jack. Let's see how they played. So Soren called a raise, check, 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 and then he bluffed the river. Let's see if you call 3 streets again, Izzy. No, you don't. So here, insert, who's sort of a tighter player, nitty player. Okay. Yeah, I just flat my jacks to let Izzy in, and then lead out. And turns a really bad card. He bets half pot, and I think I'll pay this off. He's a loose player, probably a passive player. But he called the flop with 5 high and bluffed the turn and river. So 14 in the pot, he bets 6. 26 in the pot, he bets 9. So at the bottom right, MGRV opens to $1.50. I 3-bet. And I've done this twice to him so far, and he calls, as he's called both times. Now, on the flop, I flop a gut shot, an overcard, and he donk bets out. So I could raise, or I could peel. I'm going to peel, although... Okay, now he checks to me, so I bet 1/3 pot. He check raises, and I call. This is just an abortion of a hand. Oh my god. I played that horribly. I think I should raise the flop, or maybe check back the turn, but my 1/3 pot on the turn is just terrible because it looks so weak. You know, I'm telling him what my cards are. So, and I guess I'll quit at the top left. Hopefully steal this dude's blind before I do so. Nope. Flop pretty good. From open-ended in 2 overs, and I will probably be raising. Now I'll be folding and check folding the river, I presume. But I take it down. Score 1 for the good guys. And why not? Got pretty nitty image. These guys are nits. Try for 75 cents before I go. 3-bet. Grind fold. And that will do. Call, check call, bet. It's an interesting line. Check call the flop with the third pair, check call the turn with fourth pair, bet tiny on the total brink river. Sticky post. There's not full 2-3 bets. Now, the last time I opened ace queen in this spot, I got re-raised by kings. Here, flop a very draw-heavy flop, and right away, one card straight comes. Now he's passive. I'm showing weakness. This is a tough spot. So I raised. He limped, I raised. Just gonna fold. Very exploitable. Maybe that's an argument against raising pre. So this is his first 3-bet. I'm gonna give him credit. And snake cold calls. Now this guy rarely 3-bets. Although he's sort of, he's been losing bad the last few hands, so it might be like an emotional 3-bet as opposed to a strength of cards 3-bet. It looks like I raise, he 3-bets, he cold. Yeah. So here, Cloud Run opens. Only got a few hands on him. I flat 6s on the button. I'll just give up on that flop. It's interesting sizing. Here, get called from the big blind by reg-looking player, and he check raises. So I kind of want to just stack off here. Would he check raise a jack? Be a good play. Would he fold to my all-in? No. No, he's not folding a jack here. This is a very bad play. He check raised because I was short, because he could stack off. At least he's thinking about it. I think that's more of a frustration move on my part. It was sort of for value, like it's tough for him to rep anything on that board. Wow. These guys. Full house. It's very interesting how that played out. It was raise, re-raise, call, and then on the flop he shipped. Well, I guess I'll conclude my video here. So I think this was a pretty interesting video. A lot of tough spots, and hopefully you learned something, or hopefully you can share with me your opinions on the decisions I made and different spots like that. And thank you for watching, and I look forward to hearing your comments.